Hello and welcome to the channel, Kelly Legends Media. Okay, before I get into this video, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers, all the viewers. Thank you very much. For those of you who haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Doesn't cost a thing. Also hit that notification bell so you'll be notified for whenever we drop a video, we go live. Set that notification bell and all. Also very important, don't forget to smash that like button. It's a good way to support the channel, and it's very important to us content creators. The more likes, the better the video goes through the algorithm. Okay, so very popular subject right now, something that's happening not only in LA, but throughout the United States, okay? Now, deportation has always been an issue since Trump became president, okay? I'm all for deportation, 100%. Deport all the criminals, all the people that have come here and committed crimes and have been arrested. Those that are just on welfare and EBT or whatever, you know, Medi-Cal, and surviving that way and aren't seeking gainful employment and paying taxes and helping to improve the community, okay? Yeah, sure. Deport them, you know. I'm not too cool with them deporting all these construction workers because it helps build our infrastructure. It helps build America up, okay? You know, everybody knows, man, that the Mexican community is very much involved with construction and putting up houses and buildings, okay? It takes a certain skill set that not everybody has. So by taking them out, pulling these people out, sure, it creates more jobs. People have to go get trained. And yeah, people that live here can do it. But, you know, I have an issue with the deportation of people that come here and go to work and go to school and are raising families the right way. Especially those that came in through open borders, okay? This government put those borders in that condition. They're the ones that decided to have open borders. So people left their homes in different countries and came in over the border and needed to do some things to get the citizenship. I think they got comfortable. Were taking their time about doing it, never imagining that somebody like Trump would come into office and do what he did, you know, how he's doing it. It's not what he's doing, it's how he's doing it, how he's going about it. Trump likes this kind of attention. He likes this kind of notoriety, okay? Look what happened in the White House, man. He had the White House overran. Employees of the government were unalived. You know, anybody who's seen that's never happened. You know, no president has ever come in or left office and created a situation like that, you know. This guy's been surrounded with violence through his last term and now through this term. We haven't seen people in the streets down in LA the way they are right now since Rodney King, okay? And I know Tupac said in one of his songs, man, and I am going to bring that up, that pretty much, you know, you do as people wrong, they'll burn down the whole damn city, you know? Right now, the immigrants that have come here to the United States through open borders and through other means are more upset not getting due process than anything else. You know, if they need to be deported, I'm sure, hey, they're not going to like it, but, you know, they got to march. But when they're coming through and doing this gang style, mafia style in and out, pull up, snatch these people up, throw them in the car, don't tell them nothing, don't give them no documentation, don't explain nothing to them, and bone out with them. They cause fear, People don't just act violently or react the way they've been doing in LA out of anger. Sometimes it's out of fear, fight or flight. No, Mexicans are going to fight. And I don't agree with the way the protests are going. There's a lot of elements missing in that protest. For one, I think they should have some speakers. I mentioned it already in the last video I did about this protesting. They have to have their signs, their speakers, an agenda, where they're going to all meet, who's going to speak. Have somebody from the government, if they could, a councilwoman, councilman, somebody, from that's working in politics, speak and give some alternatives, give some ways that these people could maybe help themselves not be deported, and if they have no avenue to do that, then by law they have to go. Trump, I in my eyes, did a quick one. Okay, he said, yeah, I'm going to deport anybody who's committed crimes. We're going to get rid of all these murderers and rapists. And I guess he included the whole entire Mexican community, because after he got into office, he switched it up and, oh, well, if you're here undocumented, then you're a criminal. You're breaking the law. That's bullshit. It's a civil offense, and there's processes to go through when you're cited or arrested for a civil case or anything unlawful. Okay, a lot of people, it's their fault they're getting deported because they didn't do what they had to do to stay in this country, or they came in a certain way and they can't be here. They should have took advantage of their time to get legalized. They say millions of immigrants have come here to the United States, and that's a big drain on resources if they're not contributing to the company. I mean, to the government, the company. And I'm not happy with what's going on, but you know what? Believe it or not, I had thought about it, and I says, you know what? It'd be good to see if they stood up and did something like this. But there has to come a time where they calm it down and get some rhetoric going, because they're making themselves look bad in the media. Give you an example. Somebody ran and threw an American flag on this car that they had caught on fire. They caught 3 cars on fire, right? And they threw a flag in the fire, American flag. And they're making a big thing out of that and saying, yeah, the rioters are burning flags, burning American flag. No, it was just one individual. One individual expressing himself the only way he could think of, although it was wrong, shouldn't have done it. It was one individual. How are you going to blame that on all these people? Oh, the rioters are burning flags. No, they're not. They're not. And how come they don't have American flags? They do, but not many. I'm sure they're not feeling real good about America right now. I'm sure they love being here in this country for the opportunity that it offers, but that's always been the case. That's why the Statue of Liberty is out there, man. Migrants will come in, and as soon as they seen that, the ones that came that route, man, would feel a certain way, like opportunities here, They're going to have a chance of a new life, And you got to keep in mind, in all seriousness, we're all immigrants to this country. This is not even Americans' soil. It was taken from the Native Americans, from the Mexicans, and through war, through bloodshed, through trickery, through all kinds of different devious ways, you know. Yeah, it is America now. It is the United States now. But, you know, they pay the Native Americans a certain amount of money annually or weekly or bi-weekly, however they do. They're entitled to some money because of the treatment and the land being taken from them, okay? And I think Mexico should be given some type of consideration too. Not the criminals, not the people who assault women and children. You know, if you commit a crime, go back to your country, send them back. I understand that, but they're taking moms, old moms that have raised their kids here. Their kids are already grown, never had any encounter with the police, is employed, has been employed, has been paying her taxes, you know, living a good, they'll deport her. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And those are the people that I think should be given some type of consideration. Believe me, sometimes I get pissed off at especially the Mexican immigrants because, you know, they got some type of attitude. You know, there's always been some type of conflict between the Mexican and the Chicano, you know. And the people that come here sometimes they get really arrogant, you know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, but they get sick with it, you know, and that bothers me. Sometimes I think, yeah, you should go back to your country. Really, you should, you know, before somebody hurts them, you know, because sometimes they're, you know, they act up. Calling out the National Guards and the Marines standing off to the side is only inciting more violence, you know, because it's causing more fear. And people are pushing back, you know. People are getting tired of ICE going in, just going in and walking in the houses, making a big old mess of the house. Sometimes the person they're looking for is not even there. And, you know, people gave up their lives in Mexico, even some of them their homes, to come here to the United States, you know, through open borders. And now they're telling them, no, you can't be here. You got to go back. So now what? Now they leave what they've created here to go back to what they left behind and let go. You know, they have to start over again. You know, even that alone will cause fear in a person, you know, the not knowing what the future holds for you like that after living secure and going to work and doing the right thing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get biblical or religious about this, you know, but Trump claims to be a godly man of some sort. But like they say, man, you'll recognize them by their fruits, you know. He's very, very rude and inconsiderate, and not all the time, but it seems he has a thing about immigrants, you know, especially Mexicans, Salvadorians, Hondurans, you know. I don't hear him mentioning too much about the Orientals or the Indians, you know, Asians. It's mostly his negative talks mostly directed towards the Mexicans and people of Hispanic, Latin background, you know, and that alone causes some type of negative energy in people. You know, the guy doesn't like you, and then he's treating your mom like that, or your family like that, or even your friends like that. You know, having these people from ICE just come in, snatch them up off the, don't say nothing, and just take them. Next thing you know, you're watching a video of CCOP prison in El Salvador, and you see your brother, your husband, or your dad. You know, like, what kind of shit is that? You know, since when does the United States do that? You know, I don't know. I think I don't know. Trump says that he has to create this chaos in order for the good to come, but I've never seen it before in all my life, you know, where a president comes in and causes so much havoc in the street, in the government, with other countries, you know. yeah, that's going to make people really think on the next go around. And I'm sure all of those people, like Dubs, for instance, Dubs made a video and he had a lot to say about the situation. Look, Dubs been in prison most of his life, okay? 25 years of his life. He hasn't been out that long, okay? And I don't think he was paying attention to government and all of this political stuff while he was in prison. So he has a short time to take in what he took in and come out with what he's coming out with. And a lot of people agree with him. I would say mostly rich white people. You know, um, they're more right wing than most. You know, but if criminals is the reason for deporting people, most of the people that are doing all these atrocities are white people. You always see them on TV. It's always a normal white family where the husband unalives his wife and kids and his in-laws and neighbors, and always some crazy shit. So it's not brown or white or black that's doing it. It's just humans that are messed up. But anyways, the reason why I mentioned this about Dubs is that he hasn't been out that long, and I don't think he's really somebody to really speak on a lot of the things that he speaks on. I think a lot of it he just hears on the news and so on and so forth. That being said, the National Guard being out, they were out here in LA before. This ain't the first time, okay? During the LA riots, I got arrested by the National Guards during those riots, and they're basically just there. They'll in case there's a problem, they'll back up whoever they need to back up. In this case, it's supposed to be ICE. They're supposed to have ICE's backs. The sheriffs aren't supposed to get involved with whatever ICE is doing. Their presence is more for crimes that are being committed in the street and stuff. But the police agency isn't supposed to get involved with whatever ICE is doing, whatever arrests they're making or whatever. That's a different department. But anyways, the National Guards were out here, and basically they would just hold you, under gunpoint, and have one of the sheriffs come do their investigation, and if there was reason to, they'd arrest you. It's not like they're gonna just start killing people in the street and shooting people, and they're only here to help coil the violence, and there's just too much violence with this protest. And a lot of it is caused by the action of ICE and now the National Guards. It's already past the peaceful protest opportunity. Shots have been fired. People have been hit with them big old rubber balls. It's on and cracking now. I don't see any positive results coming out of this. Just more arrests, more people getting hurt. But I think this is gonna put this situation in the forefront. There's going to be talk about this. And as soon as this guy's out of office, I hope he can go another term. I think he could just do his 4 years and that's it. I hope so. And I know they have somebody lined up right behind him to continue down this path, but I hope not. Like I said, it's not what he's doing; it's how he's doing it. It's all of the violence he's causing, on the White House, inside the government, in the streets, all through the United States. It's ridiculous, man. I've never seen any other president, and I've seen a lot of presidents in my life, ever cause this kind of madness. But anyways, it is what it is. They're supposed to be down here in Montebello today, Santa Fe Springs, Whittier. ICE doing their thing, so I'm sure there's going to be protests and a pushback. The people aren't going to stand for the way they're going about this. I think they should back up, talk about it amongst themselves on a new approach. Because I think the approach is just too hard, too swift, too violent. And they leave the houses all tossed up, a big old mess, and they're taking people that are picking up their kids from school, and like really, you got to do it there, in front of the little kid, just scoop them up off the street like that. I mean, they're doing it all kinds of crazy ways. I don't think that it's necessary for them to do that. But what Trump wants to do is he wants to have these big numbers, so he's like, just go out and get them, and get them out. He said he wanted to have more deportations than any other president before him. Like, that's going to be one of his legacies. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video, mostly just to get some help on the subject. I know a lot of you have your opinions. A lot of them don't align with mine, and that's okay. But I like to hear about it in the comment section, what you think. And I just want to keep everybody to keep in mind, the action of one person doesn't reflect on the whole crowd. Like that guy burning the flag, that was just one idiot that burnt that flag. It wasn't all the rioters are burning American flags and everything. Did they have American flags? Yeah, they had some, not many, but they had some. I don't think that's the issue, though. People are pointing out things to get the attention off of the real issue. And basically it's just the way ICE is going about doing what they're doing. More than anything, that's the biggest complaint. They're calling it kidnapping people. The way they're coming in is like a smash and grab. Go in, boom, grab the person, get them out, hurry them into the car, don't answer no questions, and and take off with them. I couldn't imagine what I would do if somebody from the government would try to come and grab one of my loved ones. I'd probably end up in prison, because that'd be a hard pill to swallow. So I think if they kind of pump the brakes a little bit and change their approach, they got to do what they got to do, but they don't have to do it how they're doing it. That's the point of pretty much of everything that I'm saying. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I appreciate it if you stood this long watching this video. I know people, according to the analysis, don't usually stay this long on a video, but I just want to generate some thinking, some thoughts. All right, thanks for watching, people. Stay safe. If you guys are out in the street, man, watch out, because a couple of people got hit with that 40 caliber by accident. They weren't the ones intended when that little rifle was fired, and they got hit. One guy got hit in the head and got knocked to the ground. Could get dangerous, even more so. That this might just be the beginning. Anyways, thanks for watching. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay free, people. Through it all, make sure you stay free. Keep your family safe, and do what you can, man, to help them get what they need if they're going to remain here in this country. Anyways, thanks for watching, and you guys take care.